Hi, this is Jason Nickleby, Assistant Director with the Minnesota State High School League, and this is football officiating training tape number 1 for the 2024 season. We're going to get going with scrimmages this weekend and games next Thursday. Our coaches and players are working hard for their first game, and officials are doing the same. So appreciate your work and keep up the good work there. And remember to complete all of your eligibility items on Arbiter, and that includes these training tapes if you wish to be considered for a state tournament assignment. If you're viewing this tape on YouTube, stop now and go over and view it on Arbiter. We put it on YouTube so our coaches can view it at their convenience. Again, we will have 8 training tapes this season, like we did the last several, and we need you to view the training tapes that are available on Arbiter by October 9th if you wish to be considered for a state tournament assignment. And again, we're using these tapes to improve our officiating consistency and our quality of calls and mechanics across the state, and we've done a great job with that. The officiating in football in Minnesota and across the country has never been better. We're in a great spot, but we can always get better. We can always improve. And that's the purpose of these training tapes. So remember, we're not picking on any one official or crew or team or player. We're just trying to learn from these plays and take a look at it from a mechanics and positioning and philosophy and rule standpoint. And how can we officiate these plays better or point out this is great officiating and let's do this. And last year's prep bowls were awesome. We had 4 games come down to basically the last play, and the officiating was great. The players were great, coaches were great. It was really an awesome time last year, and many of these are highlights from those particular games. So we'll have uh, 12 or 13 plays on each tape. We'll talk about rules and mechanics and positioning, and you don't have to necessarily agree with everything I say on here, just food for thought and something that hopefully you bring to your crew as far as pregame discussion is concerned so that when the games start next Thursday, we're all set to go and we're ready to move forward with the season. So, with that, let's take a look at some plays. On this first one, I want to talk about scrimmage kick mechanics, specifically punts and our positioning and coverage. We're in really good initial position. Umpires maybe move up a smidge, about 4 yards behind the kicker or so. Referees about the same, but otherwise, really good initial position off of the tackle there by the umpire. And then we just really adjust and cover this punt really well as a crew. So um, taking a look at the line of scrimmage official here, lets the play develop in front of him, and then officiates the play from behind and covers it really well. But we'll see that as the punt gets away here, the back judge is in really good position, keeps a cushion between the return player and himself, about 5 or 6 yards or so behind the return player and shading towards the chains side of the field. And then we don't come up too quickly. That's something that we've seen from back judges that we need to work on is not coming up too quickly, not running up on the play, especially when you see a fair catch signal. There's really no reason to come forward. Just stay where you are and officiate the play from there, maintain your cushion. But if you see here, we have really good depth and width, and we don't get caught up in the middle of the return. And then once it's possessed or there's control there, we get the beanbag there and then we officiate blocks from there and we don't try to get caught up in the play. So just really excellent work by the back judge here. And then remember the line judge position. So this is the first quarter. So this is the down judge who is on the other side of the field. They release at the snap And then as soon as the blocks start happening, we need to get stationary because you see some blocks right here at the point of attack that might be suspect. And we're able to clear those blocks as legal because we get down, get stationary, officiate those blocks, then let the runner pass in front of us and officiate the play from behind. So um, the only other piece is down judge position, or the line judge in this case, because it's the first quarters with the chains. You're going to hang tight until the ball is kicked, and then you can start making your way downfield. In this case, you're going to officiate blocks at in the middle of the field, and then referee and umpire, you are zoning up on your half of the field as far as coverage is concerned, and then umpire is getting point of attack um, on this particular play and would have goal line if this punt were to break it to the goal line. But overall, this is really excellent coverage by the crew and positioning and position adjust throughout this down. Well done. On this one, I want to talk about forward progress and our line of scrimmage mechanics. So we have a quick pass out to the flat. We punch forward, which is totally fine. If you don't want to punch forward on a forward pass, that is okay, because if it hits the ground and we don't do anything, then we're assuming it's forward and we're going to call it incomplete. But we certainly want to punch on backwards passes. And typically on a quick shot like this, the opposite line of scrimmage official is going to be primary. Again, not only, but primary on forward and backwards. So make sure that we're on the same page on quick passes versus running out in the flat and doing a pitch or something similar, where in that case, the covering official would be the primary on forward and backwards. But in this case, a quick pass out to the flat, we punch it forward, we work back a little bit, and then we get a really nice forward progress spot, nice and calm, hand in the air indicating that the play is over, that the ball is dead, and that gives our play clock operator or the back judge the cue that 1,000, 1,000, and we're going to start the play clock for the next play. So um, maybe just work into the backfield a smidge more, and let it develop in front of us. But ultimately, excellent mechanics, excellent positioning, and a great forward progress spot. We give it to them right where they're hit and driven back. This is excellent job by the line of scrimmage official on this play. On this one, we have a pass play downfield, and we're going to have a interception, but we're going to have a flag on the play from the back judge for defensive pass interference. So um, first piece here, referee does a nice job of getting stationary, finding some space, and having a very nice announcement. Remember that defensive pass interference is not an automatic first down. So if they have more than 15 yards to go, we're going to be repeating the down from the previous play. Just don't forget to officiate all the way to the end of the play. Um, yeah, we have DPI, but we have a really tight catch or no catch as far as the defensive back is concerned. And we need to continue to officiate the play, because if for some reason we pick this flag up and so on, then we need to know what the result of the play is, in this case, an interception. But um, looking at this play, the um, defender is clearly playing the man, playing the player, and plays right through the back to get to the ball here. Early contact in the back, not playing the ball. This is a correct call for defensive pass interference. And remember that when we're reporting it to the referee, we need to say defensive pass interference, um, number two of the defense, and then the referee, you should announce the full penalty and don't use DPI, for example. So again, great job here, back judge. um, get the flag off to the side a little bit. We don't want it to hit players because, again, this isn't a spot foul, so it doesn't really matter where the flag is, and continue to officiate the play. But remember, from a pass interference perspective, we're looking for four hands. If both players are going for the ball, you'll see four hands as they're both trying to play it. In this case, you don't see any hands from the defensive player because he's playing right through the back of the receiver and ultimately makes contact prior to the ball arriving. And with pass interference, we have early contact, not playing the ball, um, an arm bar, a cutoff. Those are all categories because, again, coaches are going to want to know what they did. And if we can describe it with a category, then it's a solid call and one that we would want called. And this definitely is defensive pass interference and is a quality call by the back judge. Nicely done. On this one, we have third down and 4, and we just got the play going after a dead clock and wound the clock, and we get into position, and then we're going to have encroachment, and we communicate that with the referee who gets right into his announcement. Remember, we're not using the dead ball signal on these plays anymore. We're just going to say encroachment, defense, give the number, 5 yard penalty, and then the down and so forth. And the really great thing about this sequence, it seems pretty cut and dried, pretty obvious what's going on, but some excellent officiating here. One, we communicate with the referee effectively and quickly. Referee gets into an outstanding announcement. The referee knows that 5 will get you 1. So line of scrimmage officials were communicating with the referee, 5 will get you 1, which means if we have a 5 yard penalty, it's going to result in a first down. And the referee did not need to turn around and look at the chains to figure out if they were going to get a first down after the penalty was enforced. He knew that ahead of time, announced that, and then finally, our penalty enforcement administration here is excellent, very efficient, very well done. By the time the referee was done with his announcement, we had already gone through penalty enforcement and got it on the ground and we're ready to go. So this is an awesome job by the crew of knowing the down and distance and then having very efficient penalty enforcement administration. And remember, umpires with penalty administration, you're going to hold up one finger for 5 yards, two fingers for 10, and three fingers for 15 to the official that's on the chain side and confirm with them, go to the succeeding spot, confirm with them again, and put the ball on the ground. If they are busy, go with the other line of scrimmage official. Just make sure that we're always communicating and confirming penalty enforcement, that it is accurate, and that we confirm with our line of scrimmage official before putting the ball on the ground. But ultimately, we want to have that process done by the time the referee has completed his announcement, his or her announcement, especially when it's an obvious foul or enforcement like this one. So, an awesome job by the crew of knowing the down and distance and enforcing penalty administration efficiently. On this one, I want to talk back judge mechanics and just where we're looking on a play like this one. Just a really nice job by the offense here of blocking. They create a great hole for the back here, do a really nice job. But notice that the back judge kind of gets this play in his kitchen a little bit. And just back judges, remember, 20 yards downfield is our initial position to start the play, unless it's starting inside the 15, in which case we should be on the end line. In this case, at the 49, so we should be 20 yards away or so. And then take a peek at the guards as the play starts. If they run out or block down, then that's your cue that it's a run. If they stand up, then that's a likely pass block posture, and we would start our back pedal a little bit sooner in that case. But in all cases, we want to maintain our cushion because in this case it gets up on us really fast, and then we're turning and running away from the action and we're not really officiating. So try to maintain your cushion, keep some space, um, and that way we can officiate this play a lot more effectively by reading run and turning our hips and running. Because again, whether it's a pass play or run play doesn't matter. If it's getting up on us, we need to turn our hips and run, because we can't run as fast in a back pedal as the players run forward. So turn our hips and go if we need to. Stay in the middle of the field, keep everything in front of you, and maintain that cushion, whether it's a pass or run play. And then the block at the point of attack by number 34, I just want to point that block out relative to offensive holding, that the defensive player commits to the outside, and then when he tries to change course, the offensive player, number 34 in this case, just gets into his chest and pushes him to the ground, and this is a legal block. This is not offensive holding. I know that the defensive player wants that, but the main reason I bring this up is because back judges, we would be responsible or primary for ruling on the legality of that block. And if we don't have a proper cushion and don't maintain our position in the middle of the field, or relatively in the middle of the field, we're going to have a hard time seeing this block start, develop, and finish. And we don't want to guess relative to any foul, but especially to 5 and 10-yard fouls. So keep our cushion, read, pass, or run, and then adjust our position accordingly. On this one, we have a run to the bottom of the screen. We have some blocks right at the point of attack that referee and potentially line of scrimmage would get our vision to, that are suspect, but ultimately good no calls for offensive holding. The defensive players put themselves into that position, and we don't have any clear material restriction or a category for offensive holding. So we do a nice job of passing on those. And then the only other thing to point out on this is I like how we let the play develop in front of us and we officiate the play from behind. I like how we have this players in bounds and we turn and face players that are out of bounds. Remember, don't turn and face the field of play until you've cleared all of the players during the dead ball action, especially when they are out of bounds like this. So don't turn back towards the field of play until you've cleared those players. And then finally, let's know the line to gain before the play. We don't want to wind and then turn around, kill the clock for a first down, and then we're going to wind again. So know that it's a first down, kill it immediately, clear the dead ball action, and then communicate with the referee that we will start the clock on the ready for play. This is another good example of defensive pass interference. Again, looking for four hands. When we don't see four hands, it's suspect. Is it automatically a foul? No, but our antennas need to be up. When we don't see four hands going for the ball, what is that other hand or hands doing? In this case, we're chasing the receiver down the field and we're not in good position. We make early contact. Now, we see that the umpire gives three fingers as far as penalty enforcement is concerned. That is excellent. Referees, this is an obvious foul that the offense is going to take. So we really should just get the information from the calling official, find a little bit of space, and then turn on the mic and make our announcement. We shouldn't run all the way back to the line of scrimmage to do this announcement. Just find some space, do the announcement, and let's get on with it, because this is an obvious one that the offense will take. But again, um, not playing the ball, which isn't a requirement necessarily, but when we don't, we're suspect. And you see he's chasing and he makes early contact with this receiver prior to the ball arriving. This is defensive pass interference and one we want called. And it would be good, if possible, line of scrimmage, if you have a good look at this, to also have a flag. But ultimately, back judge, good position, picks up that the defensive player is chasing, makes early contact prior to the ball arriving, and this is pass interference. Nicely done by the back judge on this play. Free kick here. We're in good initial position, 2 yards off the sideline, back judge and umpire. And then we maintain our position at the pylon as line of scrimmage and referee at the goal line. This is excellent mechanics and coverage. The return player muffs this kick. And just a reminder that it continues to be a kick even if it's touched or muffed as it is here. And if it crosses the plane of the goal line, it would be a touchback. The only way it would continue in play is if the return player gets possession or control, as he does here, and then takes it into the end zone himself. But in this case, he gains control about the 2 or 3 yard line. We maintain our position at the pylon and at the goal line, and then officiate blocks and progress from there. So just a reminder on the rule relative to a muffed kick continues to be a kick, and if it crosses the plane of the goal line, that would be a touchback. In this case, he gains control prior to that happening, and then we continue to officiate as the play progresses. So nice positioning, excellent coverage, and just a reminder on the rules relative to free kicks. On this one, we have a running play that develops to the bottom of the screen, and we have some blocks we need to piece through. In line of scrimmage, our vision needs to be there as well as umpire. But when this play gets near the sideline line of scrimmage, we need to back up into the offensive backfield on the sideline and let the play develop in front of us, and then slowly, calmly move towards uh, the dead ball spot. And umpires, we need to let the runner cross our face and then just turn and officiate inside out. We're moving towards the sideline too quick here. Just let it cross in front of your face and then officiate inside out, and then we can trail the runner with a jog and officiate uh, the players from white when they're in the other team's bench area. So that's our umpire mechanics. And then line of scrimmage, again, let the play develop in front of you and slowly move our way towards the dead ball spot. And I think because we don't move into the offensive backfield and we get too close, we miss the face mask foul that occurs on this play. And I think it's just because we're too close and we're too focused on whether the player is inbounds or out of bounds. So just a reminder, line of scrimmage, we're holding the line of scrimmage until a pass is imminent. If it's a running play, work our way into the offensive backfield and let it develop in front of us, and then keep your cushion. And then I think we're able to pick up that foul if we do that. On this one, just a reminder on our primary responsibilities on scoring kicks. So remember, we have the back judge under the post that's closest to the chains. Umpire, you're on the other post. And then we're going to be on our normal positions, line of scrimmage. And then referee, you're going to be on the kicker side of the holder, and you'll be about 4 yards deep of the holder and then about 10 yards wide or so. So we're in good position, referee here. All of us are in good position, but just a reminder of our primary responsibilities. So back judge, even though it's a scoring kick, it's our responsibility to know what the play clock is doing. In this case, the referee has to call delay a game. Um, and if we do that, or if we have any kind of a foul, whether it's delay a game, false start, etc., we need to come in towards the players, kill the play, and shut all the players down, because in this case we let it play out and now they're having a fake, which it looks like that was their plan all along, was to have a fake field goal. So just get in and shut this down. Nothing good comes from letting it play out. Shut it down, get in a presence, get in there and have a physical presence and shut it down. But back judges, we have delay a game responsibilities, play clock responsibilities, no matter what kind of play it is. So make sure we're on top of that. I'm glad the referee picked it up, but back judge, this is our responsibility. And then umpire and referee, you can take a peek at the snapper uh, prior to the ball getting back to the holder as far as roughing the snapper is concerned, and then we can move to our responsibilities on ruling on a successful field goal or not, and running into or roughing the kicker. So just have a discussion as a crew about our responsibilities on scoring kicks and what to do if we have a trick play, and so on, and make sure we have those coverages down pat. But mainly, let's not forget our primary and basic responsibilities. On this one, we're in overtime, third and goal, so obviously really critical part of the game. And we have two receivers that really don't know where they're supposed to line up, when they're supposed to be there. And we just do a really nice job here of making this a false start. Um, Anything that simulates the start of the play by the offense should be ruled as a false start. They never really get set. And if I'm a defensive player, I have no idea what to do on this play and who to cover and who not to. And so, false start is the proper call on this play, and we do a nice job of doing that. And then just a reminder, referees, beginning this year, we will not use the dead ball signal, but ultimately we get right into the announcement and we do a nice job there. So great job by the crew here of shutting this down and having a false start and being efficient with getting into the announcement. Very well done. On this last play, we have 16 seconds to go in the fourth quarter, 1 point game, and the offense is going to go for two and the win. So the biggest spot of the entire season, and we nailed it. So just an awesome job by the line of scrimmage officials here, especially the one at the bottom of the screen, nailing this spot in crunch time. Again, a lot of spots and a lot of decisions throughout a season are really big, but this is the biggest one of the year, and we nailed it. This was an awesome football game, and it was really well officiated, really well played. It was really fun to watch, and it was great to see that as officials, we were all over this, mechanically, judgment, just everything handled perfectly on this play. And just so proud of the crew and the work that they did in this game and in all of our games, frankly. But um, notice on this replay that the runner's forearm is down, and at the time that it is down, the ball has not broken the plane of the goal line. We could easily get fooled by double action on this play, and double action is where we are down by rule and then we extend the arm out and we give them that forward progress, and when we really shouldn't. So you see here again, the forearm is down at the 1 yard line, and at the time that the forearm goes down, the ball is also located at the 1 yard line. So it's where the tip of that ball is located when we are down by rule. In this case, the runner is down by rule. When the forearm is down at the one, where is the ball at that spot? And the only reason we are able to get this correct is by moving our way to the goal line immediately at the snap on plays inside the 5, especially on a 2 point conversion like this. And then we can work backwards for forward progress. But we come out into the field of play emphatically, signal that our decision is that the runner is short and it is accurate, upheld by replay. So just a really nice job, line of scrimmage. Get to the goal line, look for when the runner is down by rule, where's the ball, make a decision, and we don't get fooled by double action on this play. And we see leather. So again, awesome job, biggest spot of the year, and we nailed it. So a good play to end this training tape on. Okay, that will do it for officiating training tape number 1. Lots of plays to consider, mechanics, defensive pass interference, our philosophy relative to offensive holding, but also again, a focus on our mechanics and positioning and where we're looking when it comes to handling these types of plays. So great job by the crews. Appreciate their work. Uh, keep up the good work as far as preparation for scrimmages this weekend, and also as we move into games next week. We'll have a training tape again next week leading up to our first game, and then we will continue with the training tape until we've had 8 of them. So reach out to a coordinator if you have any questions about rules or mechanics. Keep our nose in the rules book and the mechanics manual, and we'll be all set for scrimmages and games. Have a good weekend.